top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed. Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. The police official hounded by the controversial Manjanita celebration during the community quarantine is the country's new police chief. President Duterte has appointed Police Major General Debold Sinas as the country's new chief of the Philippine National Police. According to presidential spokesman Harry Roque, Sinas will formally assume the top police post effective Tuesday, November 9. The Metro Manila top cop will take the place of PNP Chief Lieutenant General Camilo Cascolan, who reaches the mandatory age of 56 on Tuesday to head the 219,000-strong PNP. Cascolan was appointed by the president to the top police post last September. Sinas, a member of the Philippine Military Academy Class 1987, currently serves as Director of the National Capital Region Police Office, or NCRPO. He previously served as the Regional Director of the Police Regional Office. Back in May, President Duterte announced that he would keep Sinas in his post despite the widespread criticisms over his controversial birthday celebration, saying his services are needed. Duterte refused to fire or transfer Sinas over the incident and even described him as an honest and good police officer. The Metro Manila Police Chief earlier drew widespread criticisms after photos of his birthday gathering that supposedly violated the rules on mask wearing and distancing circulated online. Charges were filed against him in court for alleged violation of quarantine rules.
Ang appointment to the PNP is a presidential prerogative. Wag po kayo mag-alala. Naniniwala po si Presidente na magiging epektibo si Chief Sinas sa kanyang bagong katungkulan, and let's trust the President on this decision.
The agriculture sector incurred 5.6 billion pesos in damage and losses due to typhoons Quinta and Rolly. DA Secretary William Dar said palay production was the most affected by the onslaught of the two successive powerful typhoons. But the agriculture chief assured that the country still has enough supply of rice to last for 3 months. Dar also said that palay production worth 26.5 billion was saved due to its early warning system to farmers. Meanwhile, the low-pressure area east of Mindanao has rapidly developed on Sunday into a tropical depression with local name Ulysses, the 21st cyclone to form within the Philippine Area of Responsibility this year. Should the cyclone's projected track not change, Pag-asa said Ulysses will likely make landfall over Vico region by Wednesday. Vice President Leni Robredo underscored the importance of crafting programs related to disaster-resilient infrastructure at the national level amid the devastation left by Super Typhoon Rolly in the Bicol region. Robredo, who personally made a series of inspections in Camarines Sur, Catanduanes, and Albay provinces last week, said local officials do not have the capacity to build big infrastructure projects, thus the need for the national government to make such programs. Robredo also underscored the importance of making appropriate structural designs that would fit the needs of the affected communities, especially in disaster-prone areas. She said the assessment should be made to see the gaps prior to rebuilding infrastructure projects. The Vice President cited as an example the requests of teachers and local officials to make typhoon-resilient schools that were turned into temporary evacuation centers when there is a natural calamity. She also suggested making multi-story schools to accommodate more evacuees and allow them to sleep comfortably without being engulfed by flood water.
Tsaka yung pag-invest sana sa mga evacuation centers na sturdy. Kasi ngayon Eli, ang daming evacuation centers na nasira. Halimbawa sa Tabaco, pagpunta namin, pumunta kami dun sa isang public school. Evacuation center yun ng maraming tao. Nasira din yung mga school building. So, yung mga kwento nila kasagsagan ng bagyo, nagtatakbuhan yung mga tao kasi yung kung nasaan sila, nasira. Yung sa amin Eli, yung Kisame bumagsak. Buti na lang umaga nangyari. Kasi nung pabagsak na siya, nakita ng mga tao. So nakataka sila. Mm-hmm. Pero yung pakiusap lang sana natin Eli, pag-rebuild, sana i-take into consideration na ang mga ito.
Senator Bongo on Monday issued a stern warning to all hospitals, testing laboratories, and other healthcare providers to comply with the price range for coronavirus disease tests and test kits. Go said steps are in place for the government authorities led by the Department of Health and the Department of Trade and Industry to identify unscrupulous healthcare providers. On November 4, President Rodrigo Duterte signed Executive Order number 118, which directed the DOH and DTI to determine, formulate, and implement a just and equitable price range for COVID-19 tests and test kits. They were also ordered to monitor and review the prices and market supply of COVID-19 tests, as well as to issue appropriate price control measures and adjustments if necessary. Go warned unscrupulous business entities against taking advantage of the pandemic in order to jack up the prices of testing services. The DOH and DTI are looking at possible imposition of certain penalties ranging from fines to imprisonment or both for erring individuals, manufacturers, importers, traders, distributors, wholesalers, retailers, healthcare providers, or licensed COVID-19 testing laboratories. An official of the Department of Health has discouraged the conduct of Christmas caroling this year. Citing a study, Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere said loud singing can yield the most virus compared to talking or breathing. But Vergere said the decision on a possible ban on caroling will still be up to the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. Interior and Local Government Secretary Eduardo Año had earlier said that he will propose to the IATF a nationwide ban on caroling this Yuletide season, citing a higher likelihood of COVID-19 spread. Currently, the trend of COVID-19 cases in the country remains to be downward, according to Vergere, averaging at 2,000 daily cases nationwide and 400 to 500 daily cases in the National Capital Region. In Metro News, 73 COVID-free barangays in Manila get 100,000 pesos cash incentive. Quezon City idle lands turned into urban farms get tax exemption. And Mayor Vico unwittingly reveals Pasig's surprise event. More from this report.
A total of 73 barangays in the city of Manila received 100,000 pesos from the city mayor after it managed to be free of COVID-19 infections from September 1 to October 31. This morning, Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Dumagoso distributed the cash incentive to the barangays during the flag raising ceremony at the Kartilya ng Katipunan. Mayor Isko assured that all data coming from the barangays have been validated by the Manila Health Department. The city government allotted 89.6 million for the 896 barangays in the city for the program. Idle lands in Quezon City that will be converted to urban farms are now exempted for idle land tax by virtue of the new city ordinance. Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte signed ordinance number SP 2972, which exempts landowners from idle land tax if they use the idle property for urban agriculture for a minimum period of 3 years. The land should also bear produce for public or personal consumption. The Quezon City Task Force on Food Security, in coordination with the City Assessor's Office, is tasked to issue a certification to qualified land owners prior to payment of the real property tax. Pasig City Mayor Vico unwittingly revealed a surprise event that was supposed to happen in the city this Friday. In a tweet Saturday night, Soto revealed the LG was going to turn on Christmas lights on November 13. When asked by a netizen in a tweet that was going to happen on the said date, which is coincidentally is Friday the 13th. Netizens were quick to call the mayor's attention, saying the event was supposed to be a surprise. Realizing this, Soto tweeted a sorry. After the mayor's revelation, the Pasig PIO tweeted emojis steam coming out of its nose in reaction to the mayor's posts.
Here are the top news in other parts of the country. Ilocos Norte to use SafePass app for COVID-19 contact tracing. Cebu City Government donates 1 million pesos and sends a 30-man support team to Catanduanes. 280 new COVID-19 cases and 8 deaths recorded in Davao City. More in this report.
The provincial government of Ilocos Norte will be using the SafePass application for the Health Information Management System on contact tracing amid the coronavirus disease pandemic. The SafePass app is one of the digital contact tracing applications approved by the National IATF. All Ilocos Norte provincial government employees, especially those at the Capitol building, are required to register and obtain a QR code for use in the SafePass app. Residents who do not have a smartphone or internet connection may seek the assistance of their respective barangay for them to generate a printable QR code which may be used as a digital ID. The Cebu City government is donating cash assistance worth 5 million pesos to Catanduanes, which was badly hit by Typhoon Rolly. The city will also be sending a 30-man team that will help in clearing operations in Catanduanes. The 30-man team left Monday aboard a Philippine Navy boat and will arrive in Catanduanes on Wednesday. Aside from financial assistance and sending the 30-man team, the city also donated 2 truckloads of food and water. The city was able to collect relief goods through the drop-in centers that were put at the Fuente Osmeña Rotunda and City Hall. The number of active cases of coronavirus disease in the Davao region has increased to 1,885 over the weekend. Based on the COVID-19 Regional Case Bulletin, the Davao region recorded a total of 280 more cases of COVID-19 in 2 days. The DOH Davao Center for Health Development reported 143 new cases of COVID-19 on Saturday and 137 on Sunday, November 8. Of the active cases, 10 patients were critical, 93 have severe symptoms, 652 have mild symptoms, and 1,130 were asymptomatic. A total of 8 deaths and 125 recoveries were also recorded over the weekend.
In world news, Thai police use water cannon to stop pro-democracy march to the palace. Delhi fears the worst amid smog cloud and coronavirus wave. And China's integrated renewable energy power station launch. Let's watch this report.
Thai police fired water cannon on pro-democracy protesters who were trying to march to the royal palace to deliver letters demanding reform to the unsaleable monarchy on Sunday. Nearly 7,000 protesters attempted to march from Bangkok's History Democracy Monument to the Grand Palace to deliver letters to King Maha Vajiralongkorn, with security forces calling for them to stop. Authorities had warned earlier in the day that protesters were banned from breaching a 150-meter radius around the palace, and some 9,000 officials were deployed. Police defended their brief use of water cannon as a warning. A steady stream of patients is coming out of the New Delhi's brownish atmosphere for our treatment at the Breathe Better Clinic, where lung specialist Davinder Kundra is confronting what he calls the double whammy of deadly smog and the coronavirus. Every winter pollution season, demand for bed spikes in the world's most populated capital because of an increase in lung diseases and chronic bronchitis. Now the coronavirus has become back after a lull, new cases reaching a record 7,000 a day, and some officials' prediction says the figure could soon exceed 12,000. India already has the world's second highest number of cases, 8.5 million, behind the United States. Images of solar panels and wind turbines at unintegrated power station in Yeoncheon City, Jiangsu Province, during a media tour organized by the local government. The facility is considered the world's largest single-scale tidal flat industrial base. It can produce 120 million kilowatt-hours of clean energy for 80,000 households. There is a wind power generation in an upper part, photovoltaic utilization in the middle part, and fishing aquaculture in the lower part. The climate goals, which challenge the world's biggest polluter to reach peak emissions in 2030 and go carbon neutral 30 years later, are the most concrete environmental action announced by Beijing yet, but are thin on public detail.
In entertainment, Filipino pageant fans rejoiced when the Miss Teen USA 2020 pageant crowned Phil-Am Kielani Aruda as its queen. After months of delays due to the pandemic, the 37th edition of the pageant was held over the weekend in Memphis, Tennessee. Kielani wants to advocate for autism awareness and recently received a registered behavior technician license. This cause is grounded by her love for her younger brother, who was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. Kielani is the second candidate with Filipina roots to win the crown after the Miss Teen USA 1998 victory of Hollywood celebrity Vanessa Manilo Lechi. Disney gave Filipinos another reason to love them. In Disney UK's Christmas 2020 advertisement posted online, the iconic parol is seen at the beginning, where a little girl was given a Mickey Mouse plush toy by her father set in 1940. Fast forward to 2005, the little girl is now a grandmother and living abroad, shares a few moments with her granddaughter making a parol. The 3-minute heart-melting advertisement drew a lot of reactions around the world, mostly or especially from among Filipinos. Many Filipinos extend their deepest gratitude to Disney for featuring a Filipino-themed Christmas and that they miss their grandmothers or lola in Filipino. In sports, the Azkals Development Team, or ADT, tended its maiden campaign in the Philippines Football League on a high note Monday morning with a 2-0 victory over Stallion Laguna at the PFF National Training Center in Carmona, Cavite. ADT once again launched its assault in the second half behind goals from Carlo Dorin and Jarvi Gayoso to end the guest team's campaign in the shortened season. Coach Scott Cooper's side produced 9 points after 5 matches, winning the last 3 after similar 1-0 defeats to champion United City FC and Kaya Iloilo. The club, which is using the season to hone young players for possible national team stints in the future, could even finish second if Kaya loses to United City in their match being played at press time. Known as the aerial voyager in the PBA, Vergel Meneses is considered to be one of the most accomplished athletes of the league. Currently serving as the mayor of Bulacan, Meneses proved that there is life as soon as you step out of the hard court. Catch up with one of the Philippine basketball's icons in today's episode of Sports Chat, airing today at Manila Bulletin Sports Facebook page, and here at the Manila Bulletin Facebook page at 6 p.m. That's right after MB Now. And those are the news on web today, November 9, 2020. It's 46 days before Christmas. For more news and details, get your copy of Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow or log on to www.mb.com.ph, or you may also subscribe to our newsletter through the caption in this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin, celebrating its 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Join us again tomorrow. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.